Hi, and welcome to our final video for our senior capstone project, Securaflow. Let's meet the team. My name is Coleman Cook, and the biggest parts of the project that I worked on were the integration with the National Vulnerability Database and the API and backend web server for interacting with data in our database.
Hi, my name is Sam Bennett. My contributions to the project mostly include working on the React frontend and implementing the UI library.
My name is Dax Lowe. My main contributions were to the team were on the DevOps and infrastructure side, as well as a little bit of the front and back ends. I also worked on the Jira API integration, which connects the Jira project management software with Securaflow.
Hello, my name is Shad Boswell. My main contributions to Securaflow were the database management aspect, as well as helping to implement the backend server.
The current state of vulnerability tracking for security teams working in software companies is kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. These software companies often have several different ticket management systems that they have for different teams within the company. Like Jira and ClickUp and ServiceNow. These are all used by software development teams, IT, and product managers. And the security teams within these companies end up using and having their tickets and work spread throughout all of these. This results in a lot of wasted time as security professionals try to find what they're working on. And of course, it's a security concern to have your company's most vulnerable and sensitive software vulnerability information spread throughout multiple systems and available to see by so many people. So the solution is Securaflow. Finally, there's a ticket management software that's built just for security teams. There are features in Securaflow that are built to streamline the individual security professionals' daily workflows. It also enforces the principle of least privilege with customizable user permissions, and it brings all of their tickets and work from those several different systems into one. So one of the goals of Securaflow is to help security professionals have their Chrome browser tabs go from looking like the one up top to the one on the bottom, so they don't have to switch between several different tabs and ticket management systems just to find what they're working on. Securaflow also helps the security teams have much better planning meetings as they assign tickets and go through what needs to happen maybe during their weekly planning meetings. And most importantly, it just helps individual security professionals get their work done and secure the code more productively and effectively.
Let's jump into our demo of Securaflow. So when you first log into the application, you'll be taken to your user's dashboard. This dashboard is full of all the vulnerability tickets that have been assigned to your user or to a team that your user is a part of. We can come in here and we can modify the view that we're looking at. So let's say I just want to see assigned tickets, and I want to see only critical ones. So that's going to filter that down. We can reset that. You can also filter by name. I want to see next ticket. You can come over to your view and you can change the fields that you're looking at. Let's say I don't really care what team they're assigned to. I just want to see the title and such, or I can come back in and add that team. Most of what you're going to be doing involves creating and modifying tickets. So let's come up and create a new ticket. Let's say that there is a word RCE vulnerability. RCE stands for remote code execution. So an RCE bug was found in Word. Need to update desktops. We're going to assign that to the security team. I don't know who I want to assign it to yet, so we're going to leave that blank. But it's going to be low difficulty because it's just updating some desktops. It's an RCE vulnerability. Doesn't have a known CVE ID yet, but it is high priority because remote code executions can be pretty bad. So we're going to create that ticket. It's going to populate to the top of our dashboard. If I forgot something on one of these tickets, let's say this isn't actually a desktop vuln, it's a laptop vuln. I'm going to come in, I'm going to edit that. It's Aaron's laptop vuln, not his desktop vuln. It's going to change that title for us. Or maybe I made a duplicate ticket. We can come in and we can delete that guy. If I have a known vulnerability, a common vulnerability or exploit ID, let's say CVE 2024-26192. This is going to query the National Vulnerability Database to search for this CVE ID. It's going to pull in information from the government themselves, and we can go ahead and title this guy Edge Info Disclosure. Assign it to the security team. Let's assign it to Shad. This is going to be a little trickier of a vuln to resolve. It is assigned and it is a high priority. It's also going to pull in that CVE ID, vulnerability name if it has one, and it's also going to pull in all this extra data from the NVD. You can choose to use it by adding it into a comment or your title. You can choose to ignore it. We're going to create that ticket. It's going to populate up at the top of our dashboard here. Let's say that I'm importing tickets from an existing software that I'm using, Jira. Jira is a project management system that a lot of companies use. We want to pull all of our vulnerability data out of there because it's not meant for security bugs. It's meant for project management. So let's come in. We'll get our username, our API key, and our Jira issue ID. This is going to query Jira and pull in your title, your description. You just need to assign it to a team. Say this is mine. It's low difficulty. We're fixing some desktop security vulns. These are going to be patches. Doesn't have a CVE ID, medium priority, and it is assigned to me. I'm going to create that. It's going to populate up to the top of our dashboard, and that all came straight from Jira. If we want to export our data into a JSON file format, we can come up here and we can export it. It's going to download a JSON export of all of our vulnerability tickets from our dashboard, which is pretty useful if you use it in other applications. Say we need to come up and change some user settings. Those are available up here. You can see what teams you're a part of, as well as change between light and dark mode, depending on your preferences. If you're an admin, you're going to have access to this admin panel where you can add and remove members from your organization. You can change the teams they're a part of, as well as add and remove teams from your organization. And that is a demo of Securaflow.
As far as our technologies go, our main tech stack was the MERN stack. This is MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. All of our code was written in TypeScript and it was all hosted on AWS. We also use a library called shadcn and a bit of Tailwind to style our front end. This is an overview of our system architecture. For version control, we use GitLab. We also implemented a CI/CD pipeline, so that way any code that was pushed to main would automatically be reflected in our AWS instance. Nginx will then serve our front-end React app, which would then query the Node.js server in the backend for any of the necessary data. And again, we were using MongoDB to store all of our data. As far as our software engineering practices go, again, we use GitLab for our version control. In order to help with version control and make sure that we always had a working version of Securaflow in the main branch, we created a dev branch, which we would then create our feature branches off of. We also had 3 stand-up meetings per week. One on Monday, which is primarily for planning the week. One on Wednesday that served as a check-in, and then one on Friday that was for code review. Some statistics for software engineering practices. We had a total of 137 issues closed and 273 commits. Moving on to our user studies, we showed our app to 5 security professionals from Master Control. The table on the right shows how long each user spent with our application and what role they were given within Securaflow. A bit of feedback and improvements they recommended that we implement in Securaflow. They found a few simple bugs, which we were able to remedy pretty quickly. They also recommended that we provide the user with some feedback as they were interacting with Securaflow. An example of this is if they were trying to create a ticket and it was taking a bit of time, maybe showing the user a simple loading screen. They also recommended that we implement some error handling, again, so that way the user on the front end knows if anything went wrong. They also recommended that we implemented a more robust role-based access control. And then lastly, they recommended that we exported all of our tickets as JSON.
So in conclusion, what is Securaflow? Well, it's a simple, centralized, and secure vulnerability management software and it's built specifically for security professionals. It uses some of the latest technologies, including the MERN stack. It's deployed on AWS, and it has a robust feature set, whether that be integrating with Jira API or the NBD to directly import CVEs from the government database. And best of all, it's built by us. We've built this over a year-long project. We've had a great time. We've learned a lot of new technologies, and hope you enjoy the product. We've worked very hard on it.